Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Fall River Insider. Happy Tuesday. It is a beautiful, right, Jeff? A
Oh, it
beautiful
is.
day out there. It was gorgeous. I was at work. I was able to go outside for a little bit, and I just wanted to stay out there. Honestly, it was great. Um, Today we actually have a guest. Today we have he stood around after Jeff Leary show, the Fall River Raw, and I just want to thank Jeff, my friend Jeff, for coming on today. I've known Jeff for a while in Fall
Yeah.
River politics. And we're going to have a great show today. We're going to talk about some great issues that matter both to me and you and members of this community. We're going to talk about the budget, the water budget, the sewer budget. We have the budgets here today, everyone, and we're going to go right through them. And we're going to break down dollar for dollar where your tax dollars are going and if it's justified that we see a raise every single year in your water rates, in your sewer rates, your storm water. We're going to discuss that, and I know Jeff wanted to talk about an ongoing issue. I mean, not, I should say it, an ongoing the topic of Diamond and how Diamond is going to be paid for, and if the administration wants to bring a debt exclusion down the road. We're going to talk about that today. I think we're going to talk about Diamond first.
Yeah, we could talk
Jeff,
about that.
Jeff, I'm just going to ask you straight out, and I might stop you and ask you some questions on the way. But what's your opinion on everything going on with Diamond right now?
Well, the problem is with me since I've been, trying to pay attention on what's been going on with the new school being supposedly being built. I am a graduate of Diamond in 2005. Um, I support education as everybody else is, but my problem is I don't support it being having something built that's not even necessary needed. As I've been been there. I never seen any issues while I was at that school. So for them to go to the councils several couple weeks ago and showing their platforms, their videos of this would be the new diamond for the next future, and I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no need to be building something big as that, and that's and we'll talk more about the costly and what is it necessary to be built. So I don't support that. I support education for students to go what they want to go for school, because I went to auto body and it wasn't my goal in life, but it was something to learn.
So that's a great thing to learn.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, and just for the sake of conversation, I might play a little bit of devil's advocate.
Oh, I like that.
Um, and I really and let me and again I'll give my opinion. I do support a new diamond. I am firmly against a debt exclusion which is an extra tax on this community to pay for
Yes.
this school. And this and again, I just want to play a little bit just a little bit of debate here. So,
Hmm.
and I do 100% respect in your opinion on how much the cost is, and I do understand this is going to be a big thing for the taxpayers to pay
Of
for, right? Of
course.
course, and no one's and no one can rightfully object to that, but the current school they do have is out of ADA compliance, and that could lead to issues down the road. We do know that, and two, it would it and going by their estimates, and you could say their estimates are wrong. I'd love to see where they got their estimates from, but it would cost more, slightly more, but it would cost more just to renovate the school according to them than it would to build a complete new one.
Well, yeah.
And that's according to Diamond, and that's
That's
not.
according to their opinions over the past since they built it in the early 70s, I believe. So again, they claim of the numbers of students from 800 all again. I didn't go there till late 2000. I graduated in 2005. So from the student rates of there and to now, they increased of the students, not not is the opposite or on it. So again, they talk about that. They talk about handicap accessories. So I do see that they again. I went there previous a few years ago to visit teachers who are still work there and principal, former principals and superintendents.
Right.
There is a handicap uh elevators and stuff. So again, they're saying that there's not that many handicap accessibles there. I don't understand. And plus,
Again, I would.
and plus they redid everything. So my problem is, again, educating is good, but why knock down a school and just make a big one?
I guess they are failing their 88 reports currently.
Uh,
And again, I would love to see. I would
Yeah.
personally like to see a third party, independent party, go and give it their own estimate to how much the school is being. But I understand there are concerns out there. Is the numbers accurate? It's good to verify numbers to make sure we're getting the best bang for our bucks for the taxpayers. And one more. And again, and I would love to have someone firmly pro Diamond on the show, someone from Diamond on the show to give to explain your questions, concerns that many people in the community also have. Another argument for Diamond I also heard, and I do agree with this argument, is you have Durfee just got a new school, so why not Diamond? And I know it's very loaded.
No. And I think other people who we have all known, like CJ, Chip, yourself, myself, and a few others, we have agreed that, again, educating is necessary. A few years ago, when the voting was for the Durfee, to be built, they put it all over social media.
Oh, and I agree, and we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, no, I know, but real quick on that, because they had to vote. It took months for again, the pros on it and the con, like why you should vote for this and why you shouldn't. This one is, hey, the council's just going to vote on it, and that's it. The people don't get to say.
I agree with, and from my understanding of Washington City Council meetings, so the city is not getting a debt. So the reason why, and I think Sean Kadim explained this, he could explain it a lot better than me, but let me try and explain it best as I can, just for the public at home. And and I think that it should be changed. I think the public should have a say in this, but with the law currently, and it should be a change in the law. Let me make that clear. But with the laws currently, so it is, and you call it a loophole because it is. Fall River is not receiving over $100 million debt as soon as the school is approved. So Diamond High School, their regional school committee, their school department is receiving the debt. And in turn, with our contractual agreement with Diamond, they're going, and in the other communities that also have that contractual agreement with Diamond, they by contract are going to assess us. They're going to give us a bill periodically. I believe it's once a year. And in turn, that goes onto the tax roll, and then the city has to pay
for the
bill.
Previous administrations, whoever is in city councilors in the future, or the mayor, whoever is still involved, they're going to have the burdens on that.
Right.
And that's the problem we're dealing with right now.
So this is what's going to happen. It's going to be with the property taxes that we have now are going to have to pay for the school. So now the administration, unless we're going to talk about this in a little bit, has to cut items, cut other capital. Hi, Gene. How are you? And please, Gene, I know you've been following this topic as well.
Yeah,
please
they
give your
spoke
input.
about that earlier today.
And they do a great job.
They do.
CJ, Gene, Chip, they do a great job explaining it. So I just lost my train of thought.
No.
So what was I just right stop with? So yeah, in terms of the finance, so you so they're going to assess us the funds. So so it's going to be in our current pay. So our property taxes, which are already there, they're not changing just because of this. We're not receiving an extra tax, which what the administration want to do, but we'll get into that. So the administration is going to look at other capital expenses where they have to cut to pay for the school, because they're going to have to prioritize the school because it's a big bill. So now they're going to have to cut other things. That's the conversation we have to have, is where the cuts are going to come from.
Exactly, and that's where we're going to cut it.
And that's your concern. You have a concern about cutting other capital projects.
Exactly.
Okay,
which, of course, again, if you want to get to it now, or whatever you wanted to speak next on it, because let's talk about it.
And I don't. This is a futuristic sort of conversation. This bill is not going to come for the next few years, so we have to see where they're going to have to make cuts. So it's going. Most of it it's going to be water improvement project. It's going to be like drainage projects. It's going to be street repairs are going to be delayed because of this, and I think other and the FRPS schools are also going to be delayed. There's certain projects they have down the line. I believe that's going to be delayed. So that's where you're going to be looking at with your delays. So I think the conversation we need to bounce back and have the conversation about our public schools and how we can maintain those better. We should have a maintenance committee.
Of course.
We should have a maintenance committee and talk about how we can maintain our schools and save
Why have they
taxpayer dollars down the line.
why haven't they done it now? That's the thing.
And that's why the public needs to reach out to their school committee members, need to reach out to their city councilors and talk about maintenance of our schools because it's very important because year after year.
Because they're not gonna last 20 years. They're gonna, they claim it's like the Durfee, that Durfee was built in like mid 19.
Which one? There's
the-
two of them.
The one that got knocked down for the new Durfee, that was only last for like 40 years, and then everything
30
just
years.
start,
That's less than 40 years.
30 at least, yeah. But it's like then it started coming down, and then it was people will say it was unsafe, which I understand that. Again, social media, they wanted the this vote to pass a few years ago.
Right. And we're gonna get into that next, but just to finish off, we talk about how we're maintaining our schools, and you already see projects coming down the city, and with taxpayer city dollars, not school department dollars, not Chapter
Taxpayers.
70 funds, the city funds, again, our property taxes and all the income that goes into the city revenues are paying for the Watson School. They're paying. There's two new schools that they are looking to have emergency repairs to in the near term. They just put in a new track and field for Durfee with the new Durfee High School.
They did, and they didn't have to.
They didn't. They did not have to. They
No.
did not have to do that. I remember that clearly. But again, that's the conversations where we need to have cuts. But again, we shouldn't be having all these school repairs every week. It feels like every city council meeting they're looking to repair a new school, and the taxpayers don't deserve that. We need to have a conversation on how to fix our schools and how we can make cuts into the budget of bloated items. And we're gonna talk about bloated items in a little bit when we get to the budgets
Mm-hmm.
about bloated items and where we can make meaningful cuts so we don't have to raise the money, raise the taxes, the property taxes on the taxpayer every single day.
Taxes that cut things that has to be necessary. Yeah, that's just how it is. You can't go both. You can't have everything your way.
Gene, I think you have three. I guess it's continuous. I'm not an attorney. Let me just make that clear. But I feel like the statute of limitations would have ran out on that because it's been 3 years.
That's how many people showed up for election. So our elections no good because less than 20%.
That's the sad part.
I'm saying? So you can't use it for one thing and not another.
I agree.
I don't think that's going to do anything.
Yeah. But it's good food for thought. Gene, I think it's a good question, and if that's the case, and I asked that, and I was wondering that right after that election, because the charter is pretty clear, but again, we only enforce charter provision when it works for us.
Exactly. We all hate the charter. We know that.
But when there's something I don't like in the charter, or something you don't like in the charter, we have to abide by it. It's the law. As much as we don't like it, we have to change the charter.
We have to change the charter by the voters who should have a say, not the higher ups that the mayor gets to pick and choose.
And again, it needs to come down. We need to elect good. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone, but we need to elect competent charter commissioners next time.
No need to apologize.
I'm sorry, but what they made was a disgrace. And that's just not like me, like an extremist opinion. I think the mainstream of Fall River agrees with that.
Well, not to change the subject real quick. I was there a couple times. I paid very close attention to those charter reviews and to discuss whether or not to.
And you thought they're doing good?
There's some things I agree with. There's some things I didn't, and I understand. There was something. Again, it was very confusing on. Again, it's been now 4 years that this charter has been around, and people know it sucks. So,
and and again, I 100% agree. It's something bad in this charter which needs to be changed immediately. We cannot
The
have
fact that it's a charter and it goes against everything we stand for.
Yes.
that the fact that the mayor, the next mayor is probably not going to be Paul Coogan. It'll probably be another mayor in 3 or 4 years when they do this. But a mayor should not have. And mark my words, I say even if I'm the if I'm the mayor in a couple of years, and I'm going to abide by this too. I wouldn't follow this. The mayor should not have the opportunity to select members without a vote. I would refer it to a vote of the public. The public
I
should
agree.
weigh in. The public should weigh in
We
on
agree,
who is going to be a charter commissioner. We need to make sure we have thorough debates on that because we got to make sure we elect competent charter commissioners and we fix the issues in this charter.
I have no issues with that. I agree. So, what else did you wanted to bring up?
So, and this lastly touching on Durfee for and Diamond for a little bit. So,
yeah.
And I brought this up in previous episodes, and I think it's very important for the public to notice how the network, the good old boy network, the network wanted to disillusion voters, in my opinion, and it's not okay. So, Diamond, we're gonna have a Diamond no matter what. Now, the city council approved it.
Well, no. Oh, see, that's where we're having this issue because now this brought up a couple days ago. This even when the Durfee voting came because now and I paid very close attention on this stuff lately.
Sure,
Even,
go ahead.
because somebody on that's been over the media and been called on WSAR is that the voting for the first vote on the Durfee should not have happened or passed because in the charter you have to have at least 20% of the votings to approve, and if it was less, then it's not a void, does not pass. Now they're going to this issue with the Diamond.
We discussed before, though. It is again because it's not the city doesn't have to technically vote on anything because it's separate state laws, and I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's
Well, this is what been going on lately on the media here in the city.
All right.
So
Well,
I mean,
we'll have to see what comes. But according to the city council's mind, they passed it.
yeah, they passed it, but also too, we're just gonna have to wait and see on that part.
Well, all right. Well, it was hypothetically. I would say
Okay.
it was just hypothetical until I talked to CJ Chip and then I'll see. I did not watch I didn't watch much of the last city council meeting. I walked out on the state of the city, and
Oh, did you?
I did
Because I didn't
went-
see. See, that was
I
the
walked
problem.
out. I didn't
Well,
want to hear.
I'm not
a bunch of BS. I'm
Well,
sorry.
the problem was I didn't see any. I mean, if you want to bring that up now, because I didn't see any residents or actual voters. All I
There
saw
was a
was
few. There was.
I saw employees. For
There
the
were-
sk-
It was
Gotta
95%.
fill those seats.
They honestly no. I'm sorry. There was 95% employees, and you had the state delegation, and then you had three. You had including I had me, two of my friends, and I probably saw 5 other voters there. That's it. That's nothing.
No, I mean it's sad because because of COVID and all that crap. But I just don't really see a lot of faith in this administration right now.
I don't have faith in them.
No, I'm not arguing on that because it's
No,
like,
you can't. I just don't know.
no, it's the same thing with our city councils. So
So how do you think the city council's handled? But I know I'm changing topics,
No.
but
no, for this year already, or with the issue with the
anything. How do you think they're handling this year in general? Sure.
some I would agree on, and some I really haven't. I mean, listen, we can all agree that we can respect people's opinions, but even like I agree with Sean a few years ago because he didn't care for, bless you.
Thank you.
COVID.
No,
No, I'm okay.
no, because
Allergies.
no, because it was the same thing with Jayzill's corruption and his lack of leadership. And of course, I agree with the city councils. He need to be gone. But now we're dealing with a new administration, and an issue with the taxpayers' problems is, rents are going to go up, property.
I feel like this doesn't get discussed anymore. I know for like the last ever since I was a kid, ever since I feel like during 2014, maybe that's when I just first started watching politics. But ever since like 2014, and it's good. It's good to bring it up. It's been taxpayers to taxpayers, and I love how residents of the city micromanage where where tax dollars are going, how much is being raised, and rates are being raised. And I feel like this is starting to die down a little bit, and we can't let that die. That's not okay.
Well, I don't think it's dying down. I just think that people are not really paying attention or not understanding it.
I think it's two things. One, it's not being advertised anywhere. It's being hidden as much as possible. It's being
Yes.
circumvented and covered by nonsense news instead.
I agree.
So people,
I agree.
and unfortunately, we do have a big problem with people not paying attention. I mean, open these doors here, walk outside. No, none of these people are paying attention over here.
No,
There's heavy population in the city now that isn't from here, that wasn't from here, and
Exactly.
they just emigrated here from the Boston area, the Randolph area, the Brockton area, whatever it is, and they're not into the city politics. They weren't there. They're not here.
or they're just not
And
voters.
they're just not
Yeah.
voters. They're just not voting either way. We have almost 50,000 voters and 12,000 show up.
Yeah.
13,000 show up.
We have
So realistically, it's a big
the
problem.
populations of the city is 80,000, and the voting rates
It's a
is
lot more.
50.
It's a lot
I think
more
it's
than 80,000.
over 90.
Can we
Oh,
be,
90.
let's be realistic. There's over 100,000 people living in the city. Not everyone does the
well,
census.
Of course.
Well, yeah,
I say it's in the mid 90s. But
no, because again, I mean, I know we should we're going to discuss other budget issues, but again, we're going to talk about that because we have residents who, a few years ago, the property rents here in the city was so low. Now it's going up, and renting an apartment, it's like $800 to $1,000. This is not Boston. This is not Providence. When you pay up to $1,200 or so.
But that's what they're
Oh.
trying to create.
Yeah, and you
Ooh.
Because if
can't do
create
that.
You think you're going to bring in that kind of
Oh, guys.
people and get rid of that slum people. What they don't understand is you
No,
can't.
you
You
can't.
can't.
I'm gonna while we're all talking, I'm gonna bring this up. There's a citizen's input. It's actually for full disclosure, my friend did submit it. I have an out of town friend, and we discussed and they in the letter they live in Lakeville. They in a town, and this and Bruno, you know this too.
Well, small towns live on debt exclusion.
They live exactly.
Yeah,
they
but it's
live
not
on
They
that.
have no choice because they don't have the property. that we do.
Exactly.
They don't have the taxes.
100%. Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. They live on debt exclusion. They have to have high
The
property
biggest
taxes
issue that I
because they
have,
don't have many properties.
Yep.
Cities should not
Yep.
have that.
the biggest issue I have right now, and everybody should have this, and I don't care. There is absolutely zero explanation and reason. You can bullshit all you want. At the end of the day, this city just received the most money we have ever received in free money. Call it what you will. Call it opera. Call it this. Call it a grant. I
Well,
don't care
that's
what
free
you call
money.
it. It is free
Free money.
Free money. And we could do a lot of damage with that money to fixing the problems that we have. Our taxes still went up max.
Yeah.
We're looking at debt exclusions.
2.5%.
We're looking at max and debt exclusions for a new school that should already be covered, period. Our water department just got millions more added to their budget again. For what? Okay, our roads are still crap. All these positions just got raises. We just created 27 new positions. Why are our
And-
taxes maxed out again? And yet we just got all this money in that we'll never see again.
No, this is a one time.
One time. We're going to get it again next year. We'll get 35 and 35 or 36 and 36, whatever the total is.
It's this year.
Roughly 70 million. Where the hell is $70 million going that we can't cover some type of cost to relieve taxes for a year? 1 year. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
I mean, I think we should be looking more than just 1 year. We need to look at how we can permanently.
Again, just don't raise taxes for 1 year. Use
It's-
common sense. Use budget. Use something to think about the citizens for once. I've never heard anything. I've never heard a politician in any of these offices, other than when they're running, we're not going to vote for raising taxes. They all raise taxes.
They
We're not
always
going to
do.
vote for pay raises. They all get a pay raise.
Yeah.
Got it. So we know that they're all full of shit when it comes to that. We got it. They're going to lie about that. However, you have that, and I've never seen a politician say, hey, I screwed up. It's on me. I'm going to do what I can to fix it. I'm sorry.
Every time.
It's always, no,
yeah.
that's not the case. No, that didn't happen. It's always deflect, blame somebody else. Never once have they taken responsibility. You are the people in charge. This is your budget. This is your city. You're running it.
Take responsibility.
Tell me how it's our problem. Tell me why it's our fault. But yet they'll sit there and say, well, the people don't take care of the school. The people don't take care of this. Great. What's the solution? Charge us more money? Because that's the only answer we ever get is we're going to charge more. We need to raise money. Nope, we need debt exclusions because
Boomer,
we
you
want
should
more
run.
money.
You should run for city council.
It's almost like somebody
Yeah.
told them this was
Listen.
going to happen while they were running, right? It's almost like somebody told them we are not approving anything that's going to cost the taxpayers money and not benefit the city. Everything that they've charged for so far has not benefited the city.
No.
As much as I hate taxes going up for Diamond, that benefits our city. That benefits our kids. So I have to agree on that part. Finally, my taxes are going to something freaking useful because I'm tired of pay raises. I'm tired of increases. I'm tired of special interest. Tired of all
And
of it.
there's a big increase in salaries for the water budget, which we will show the public in a
Crazy.
little bit. But I this is to circle back, and these
Yeah,
were
no,
great
no,
points. About debt exclusions, and again, it's a shame how this took place. How they fooled the voters into passing this debt exclusion. I remember they wanted originally on the original tax payrolls, and therefore they wouldn't be a debt exclusion is an extra set tax. It is because they can only raise the city their
21
taxes 2.5%.
2.5%.
2.5%.
And yet they say it's okay to go up a little bit. You can't go any more than that. You can't.
Unless you have a debt exclusion, which is a completely separate tax, which is going to go on the taxpayers for Durfee this year. And the mayor, your mayor, the guy down the street, who I'm sorry, he wanted this. I don't care. I'm calling him out too bad. He wanted a debt exclusion for Diamond. He said the only way we're going to have a Diamond is if we have a debt exclusion. They were going to have another, let's vote for Diamond. If you're going to have it, they're going to have it on the ballot, Jeff. And vote yes for debt exclusion and vote for Diamond, and that would have been a lie. And I'm really happy to see.
When I hear people saying that, when I hear people saying that the Diamond should have been built, well, listen, I'm not saying whether or not both Durfee and Diamond are separate, different thing, because this Durfee was built poorly. Again, only lasted 30 plus years, and then it started to leak. And then of course.
The new one leaks, by the way.
Yes. Well, you have a leaking problem still. You have property damages. You have fights. You have, again, buildings does not
fights
educate.
Are gonna happen, but I'm more worried about. I mean, I'm talking about structurally, the structural.
It's been
issues.
terrible, and they went over budget.
I'm very concerned. As someone who ran for school committee, I'm very concerned about the current issues with the new.
I'm not arguing on that part because you spoke on your part the truth, and it's like, again, we wanted to build a pretty nice school for the students to be learned, but yet as you said, you got these principals and vice principals. They're getting paid so much more, and yet you get very little teaching at the school.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about how can we pay for this?
My brother goes to Durfee. I think he has very great teachers. Is there any specific issues? I mean, there can always be fixes to the curriculum. And I do agree with you. The fights that happened and the vandalism that needs to be. And I'm really happy, I am happy. It is somewhat being addressed behind the scenes. I mean,
It's being put under the rug.
It might not be brought to the attention because, again,
you can't really.
You don't want to bring everything out to panic. A lot of it is like you're still dealing with kids. You're trying to keep. I get it. And kids are going to fight. It's an inner city with a lot of kids. It's a lot of interracial. It's a lot of gang violence. This is a violent city.
It is.
Despite what they tell
unfortunately.
you, it's state of the address. Like, this is a violent city. I think we're number 4 or something in the state.
Boomer,
at least, yeah.
I'm sure that's pretty bad. When you got cities like Lowell, New Bedford, Brockton, and Fall Rivers, like, we want that. We want the one spot.
We are the poorest city
in
this.
But that's what happens when you keep bringing in the wrong people. Not to say that the people are bad, but you're pricing out the population that was here, that's looking out for each other, that cared about the city.
Yeah.
All you're doing is bringing in free money. That's what we're doing. And that is going to have a cause and effect.
And Jeff, I have to get your opinion. I've talked about this for probably several meetings now.
Yeah.
Speaking about free
Cash.
quote unquote money.
Yeah.
So so just very quickly. So the school department, they get chapter set. That's how they fund their budget for the most part. And the city
Right.
has to match for the 100%.
Yeah.
It's called chapter. Their part of it, the state funds they get, is called Chapter 70 funds.
Yes.
They are receiving. You're gonna think, oh wow, it's great. Over a $20 million increase in their Chapter 70 funds. That is a big increase in a
That's a
single
big increase
year.
on education.
That's a big. So the city now, and don't forget, the city already has a $3 million deficit in the latest 5-year fiscal forecast for this year, and of course they're going to make that up by raising the rates, the property taxes,
everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So know how much the city has to pay to reimburse that $20 million increase to meet the 100% net school spending, which is the law. Over $2 million. So for this year, they have to make up $2 million this year. So our deficit went from $3 million to $5 million. And again, I have no problem with the money they're receiving. I'm sure it'll be my hopes is being put to good use. Again, they don't. We'll get into this in a minute. They don't release the budget, so we actually see where the money's going to afterwards. That's how the school department works. I just learned that. But that is a big increase in 1 year that the city now has to scramble to find funds for. And I just want to get your 2 cents on that.
Where can they find it?
Yeah, I mean, just in general, you have to make up $2 million now. Because I know we did get $20 million, which is not bad. But now since we got that all at once, the city in 1 year has to make up $2 million
on top of the deficit we already have.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Not to hire. Honestly, how can you do it? Is by not hiring people and giving them pay raises.
I want them to give them money back.
Well,
that's not really a popular answer, but the city, the school department, and they'll admit it themselves. They have extra cash. They have a lot of cash, and this cash is hurting financially Fall River. So you know what? I wouldn't mind giving it back. And I know that's not popular.
Well, we can't do that. We're going to hire some more administrators.
Yeah.
Kids need more administrators. They don't need better teachers and teachers' help. They don't need any of those. We don't have to pay those petty helpers anything.
So Jeff, and also this, and I'm really happy Kevin Aguiar did bring this up.
Sarcasm.
No, not being sarcasm.
No, I was saying sarcasm because somebody's gonna be like, he said we don't have to pay teachers and we don't have to pay the help. I was being sarcastic. I got to make that clear because somebody's gonna take that quote and use it sometime next year.
Probably. So the school department right now is in their budget. So all the schools, the elementary schools go before the school committee, explain why they need the budget they're looking for. The middle school, then the high school, and then they go right down the line. And the school committee has their budget right in front of them. They see how much they're asking for. The public doesn't have that.
Well, the public should know.
Yeah, you think because it is that has just been how they did it for years. This is from the school department CFO. That's just how we've done it for years. They release it after all the budget hearings. You know how stupid that sounds? Honestly, I know it sounds very unprofessional.
Listen,
honestly,
I laughed when he said it too. Kevin Aguilar did a great job. He's like, seriously, he was dumbfounded. So nobody knows until it's approved. That's what we're gonna go with.
They approve it without knowing.
The school department knows. The school committee knows. They have the budget.
Of course they know.
And I'm not saying I don't. You know what I mean? If there's something outrageous in there, I'm sure one of them hopefully would call it out as a school committee. If there's something out, and they are, they're going. Well,
I think that's what Kevin did.
But I think the public should also have the opportunity to weigh in. That's obvious. That's just obvious. But I just can't.
Well, that's what citizens input is for. I have to agree to an extent.
I can't give citizens input if I don't know what's
on it. Correct. I think we need to know ahead of time so we can at least talk on it.
Yes, that's all I'm asking.
But at the end of the day, the voting stuff, we put these people into position for a reason.
Yeah. Of course.
And if you didn't vote and you're going to complain about it, that's your
problem.
That's your problem. That's your fault. I'm a firm believer in elections have consequences. However, not knowing what's on there for them to vote on it, I have a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
So we should definitely at least know.
That's all.
Everybody preaches transparency. I have not seen a single ounce of it in any of them, in any of this. Kadeem, I've seen Kadeem be transparent because
Yes.
he's called out everything. He's done his research. He's got the numbers. I've seen Michelle be transparent at times as well.
My top two favorites.
So I have to say that Sean is probably the only person in office right now that I trust. And that is sad. I'll tell you what, even Linda had a lot of great points and was sticking up for the freaking taxpayer for once.
For
That's
years.
fair.
And you know what?
That's fair.
Again, I don't agree 99% of the time because she falls in line with the administration and so on. And, Kilby falls right behind her. I'm not even
God.
sure what he does
Oh.
there. I'm really not sure what he does. But Linda has said it. We have all this damn money. Give the taxpayers a break. Give these kids something to do. Open the freaking res. Give these get tracks. Do something. Give these people something to do for their money.
You know what would be great?
So I have to give her a lot of freaking credit. I even thanked her for the first time in my life. I even thanked her.
That's fine. That's fine.
That took a
No.
lot because I don't thank any politicians for anything.
Well, I know that when the last meeting, when you brought up the budget, when she was saying about how can we pay for Diamond and how can we use the one-time money. You can't use one-time money for those,
no.
and you
But you
can't.
could use one-time money on a lot of the problems we do have. Where
They
just
can-
then we can take from that we were gonna
And
move
that's
to
why they
that
haven't
and move
touched-
that money over.
And
There's
they
a
haven't
bit of
touched
It's
anything
just a
yet.
shell game with the money. They do it all the time to pay Fiola. Why not do the shell game to pay the taxpayer?
Honestly, and how much
Well,
we're
public-
giving BCEDC and
There's
we're
a
using
shell game
ARPA
to
money.
move money every day in this city. Play that shell game in the taxpayer's favor just once.
BCEDC is personally getting almost $1 million, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars right now to administer grants, and they're going to
don't
probably
get me wrong,
receive
it's-
hundreds
it's
of thousands
work.
more.
It's work. He deserves to get paid for his job. I get it. But all the money that seems to be funneling, and we're going to bring jobs to the city, all the jobs seem to go to him.
Yeah.
You're not bringing jobs to the city.
Apparently, and
We're
from,
not.
and from my sources, and I'm being serious when I say this, he's the only one around who can do this.
Who can do what?
Supposedly,
What has he done?
Economic development.
What's been developed?
what has
More housing, less parking, more traffic, more problems.
All right, I'll play-
and the only
let me
people that
pothole.
benefit are these billionaire builders
Let me play
that
devil's
that
advocate.
get tips and don't pay taxes anyway.
No,
Let
let's
me
hear the-
play-
let's
let
hear
me
the devil's
play-
advocate.
Let
Yeah.
me play
That's
devil's
the
advocate.
benefit.
Let me play devil's advocate for 1 minute. We have Amazon. We have South Coast Marketplace.
oh
Doing what?
That's
So we have
about it. I
so we
can't
have
play
jobs
that
paying
advocate.
minimum wage. We have jobs paying $15 an hour max, and that's only because they have no choice right now, right? So that's what we have. So are those jobs going to pay the $2,000 a month rent that we have now? Are those jobs going to buy these $600,000, $700,000 beat down homes? Absolutely not.
No.
It would take 6 people at $15 an hour to afford a mortgage at that rate.
and
I know some great mortgage brokers. Okay. Troy City Mortgage is amazing. I'm going to throw it out there because he's awesome. Okay. And that guy will find a way.
And-
But I'll tell you what, no matter what he does, he cannot make you more money. A 17th McDonald's, another small local restaurant paying $2 an hour for waitresses and waiters, Amazon paying $16 an hour, going above and beyond. Don't get me wrong.
and
Above
yet
and beyond that minimum wage.
and yet none of them don't even live in the city of Fall River, which is supposed to be
It's supposed to be a certain percentage. Who's ever checked on it?
nobody.
And in Amazon's defense, how many are actually applying considering they've been getting free money for 2 years? Who wants to
don't
work at Amazon? Who
Not-
wants to
not me.
actually work for 8 hours a day, 12
Let me
hours
tell
a
you,
day?
I know
And
someone.
Amazon
I
makes you
worked
work.
at Amazon.
It's
It
work.
sucks.
It does suck.
sucks.
It's work. But you know what? That's why you get paid what you get paid.
Exactly.
If you want to get paid more, you know what? Should have went to Diamond for a trade.
Like I
You
said,
know what? Should have went to college and got your degree and be a lawyer, be a doctor, do whatever it is. If you think, you should get top rate pay just because you walk in there with a nice outfit on, you shouldn't. You get paid based on experience. There are entry level jobs. Do you know Amazon has career paths for military veterans, right? I think it's like over a 4-year program. It's like if you have a bachelor's degree, you pretty much get your master's through Amazon, and you get pay increases through that. I think it starts at like $125,000 a year.
wow.
So, but you know what? Nobody wants to put in that work prior to do it. Everybody just thinks they should go there and get it because they have a degree in philosophy. That means you can run a multi-billion-dollar business? Absolutely not. It absolutely does not. So at the end of the day, qualifications have to come into play too. So everybody talks about these jobs, and we're going to talk about this when I start the show next month. But I have people laughing. I got friends who are hiring. Can't find people to work. He's paying Domino's drivers and people to work there $17, $18 an hour. Oh, I'm not working at Domino's. Do you know where he started? He started making boxes working at Domino's. He now owns 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I know.
He now
Domino's
never
a
has to
great
worry
program
again.
with that,
Do you know why? Because he has work ethic and he put in the time. Everybody thinks they should start up here is the problem. But
I
the only
agree.
jobs we have out here are there. That's another problem. We don't name a job out here right now that's paying, other than the hospitals, and even that, the hospitals aren't paying that well.
Meditech.
Let's be real. So
Meditech.
so what's paying over $20 an hour out here?
None, not that much.
Maybe some construction,
Gold medal baker.
gold medal,
Yeah.
but gold medal's been here.
I'm trying.
I'm just saying.
just-
I want a new company. Somebody bring me a new company right now. That since these people have taken over, since these people have been put back in charge, show me the economic development that they've created, actual career jobs for people in this city.
This is
I can't think of one. I cannot name one.
Me either.
Are they going to blame COVID? How are you going to blame COVID? People adapted during COVID. I know more people that made more money during COVID, learning how to invest, learning how to flip houses, whatever they were doing, figured it out. So other than real estate agents, who's really making money out here? The builders and the real estate agents and one government center. The only people making that kind of money are in those 3 categories. Nobody could name anything else. There's construction jobs. There's people paying out here. There's electricians. Don't get me wrong. Guess where they came from? Probably Diamond.
Possibly.
So yeah, the trades are paying, but that's not economic development based on his job here, based on what we pay him millions of dollars to do.
Hey,
I
have no
don't
debate.
agree. I mean, I definitely agree. I have no issues with that. It's just the hell, like we'll talk about. Sorry,
No, you're good.
no, because Cliff Ponte, when he ran last year, and when he brought up on bringing the waterfront, like kind of like Providence. Again, we're trying to be something that we're not, because we are a poor city. Okay, and I
Can't blame
love
the
to
guy
see.
for having vision. I
Well,
mean,
no, it's good to have visions,
this is
but
something we don't. And this is something, and I didn't like Jason Correa, but at least that guy had somewhat of a vision. And this administration can't really think behind this above, like, beyond this table. Never
I'm
mind.
not. No, and I'm not arguing on that part. I'm just.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It's when you brought up Jazio, it's like when he ran, he wanted the city to be, potholes to be fixed. He wanted the street scaping. Of course,
Most of it were lies. At least he had a vision.
he had ideas, but did it work all the time? No. So, and that was the problem, and that's why the council, even when he left office, they cut the whole streetscaping right away.
Which they were wrong.
But yeah, I hear council say they support market rate housings. I don't. What does that develop people? What will that bring? The Flint. The Flint used to be back, and I've seen photos of the 50s and
You're
60s.
in the neighborhood association, correct?
And I'm involved in the neighborhood because I'm not from the I'm not from the Flint, but I always go there all the time with people. I loved and respected. There was a lot of great small store business there. There used to be a popular Chinese restaurant there.
I don't mean. I
No.
have a Flint related question. I know the RDA has a special subcommittee they're forming for Flint neighborhood revitalization.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that, or does the neighborhood association been reached out to about that?
To
your
Carlos, no.
knowledge?
As he said, as far as I've heard, he has not gone.
Carlos has probably been blacklisted.
Yes, and I don't know why.
Well, we do know why.
Well, no,
because he stood up against the administration and those in charge.
Well,
Let's be real. Let's go down Pleasant Street right now.
Sure.
I want to see anybody in City Hall go walk Pleasant Street right now. Not one. Not one. I can't name one person right now that will go walk up and down Pleasant Street right now at this time while the sun's down. Our friend, we have a lady who emigrated here, Haiti. owns 2 stores. She owns a salon. She owns a thrift store over there.
Yeah.
Great person, great family, great place, trying to take care of the neighborhood. Not much help they get?
None.
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 You know who's ever come to visit
Did they
them
get a TIF?
None.
after the
Hey,
sun goes down?
Do they get a TIF?
No. And that's
No.
the problem. That's
You
the problem I hate.
I'll
is-
guarantee you that they had to pay several times just to get in front of the board to get approved. You know why? Because they wait until the day of the board or the day before the board to come say, "Oh no, you can't. You're gonna have to reschedule. You're gonna have to pay again." It's a scam. It's all a scam. Why are you not there 30 days prior, telling them exactly what they need to do for their board that's in 30 days? Why is the building inspector not there in a timely manner? Because they want to take your freaking money. Nothing. They've done nothing to help these people.
and they don't care.
I just wanted to comment. I love the conversations we're having today, like especially about the Flint neighborhood. Something I really do want to follow up on because Carlos Caesar. I'm sorry.
I wish Carlos would call me. Let's go fix the Flint because City Hall is not going to do it for you.
He needs to be involved in this RDA board.
Of course he does. Nobody knows the Flint better.
No, you know why? Because
nobody's done more.
Exactly. That's why he said.
Jeff, I really would ask you to reach out to him today and ask him if he wants to, if we can work on that because
well, I'm gonna be
we
seeing
need
him
to
in a
sit
couple.
down.
Yeah.
I would love to. We need to be more. I would love to be diplomatic about this. You know what I mean. We can complain about it, but let's actually do something about it. Let's write letters to the RDA. I'll write a letter to. I know the No, I mean I somewhat know the the executive director they have. I'm going to write a letter to her tomorrow. I'm going to ask her why isn't Carlos Caesar been reached out to, or has he been reached out to? We're going to find out why, and I'm sure we'll get an answer, and then we will read it out. He should be on that board. He should be more involved. The Flint Neighborhood Association needs to be. They need to reach out to the Flint Neighborhood Association, be more involved in that process. Again, this administration does not treat neighborhood associations well. The mayor does go to a meeting every now and then. That's symbolic. Hey, that's ceremonial. He needs to actually show involvement. Show involvement. Get Carl Caesar on that revitalization board and get his thoughts and opinions and how, because he has all the knowledge on how he could improve and how the city monies can improve his neighborhood.
You know what's going to happen?
First.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to wait until it's bad enough. They're going to wait until these projects are finished, right? They're going to wait until these new housing projects are finished. Mm-hmm. And once the millionaire owners can move to that section of the city and buy it up for pennies and tiffs,
yeah,
then all of a sudden, we're going to put up new housing and all brand new housing for everyone in these neighborhoods. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to tear down these businesses and put up these housing and take care of our friends. That's what's going to happen. But you can't have all those projects going on at once because it's too obvious.
And of course, they will raise up the rents and all. And I said to some people, in 5 years, this city, and I'm not saying, I'm just being side.
If you're not on assistance that's paying for it,
people will leave the city of Fall River. I guarantee you. If things don't change for the better, we're not going to see a lot of people want to come to Fall River, not just to live here. Because again, this city was easy to live in on fixed income, and now it's going skyrocket.
Yep.
And again, I agree everyone's opinions on having nice education, having nice buildings all the time. And it's like, I didn't get into the city politics until 2014, and I wanted to know, I wanted to get everyone's opinions. Even when I went to Cuss Middle School, and of course they moved to a different location. I wanted to know how, and I never knew this, but I was like, was there ever a vote to have a new Cuss Middle School down there in that section? No, probably not. But again, you have City Councilor Joe Camara as he's as he's for the schools, for the past several years, and the debt for those payments has already been paid off. So,
all right, I agree with you, Jeff, and it's been a great show so far. So we're gonna move into
the water.
We're gonna go into the water. And
Jeff, tell me about this.
Yes, wait, let me pull it up first. Boomer, think we take our break?
We can do whatever you like.
Sure. We'll take our break, and we get back. We're going to break down the water and the sewer budget.
or the sewer?
Talk about the water first.
All right, you're on.
All right, and we're back. And before we go into the water and sewer budget, do we have any new comments, Boomer?
No,
Okay.
no.
So
I have private messages because apparently, you know they're gonna save that for elections, kind of thing. You know, yeah, save whatever they want. Unlike everybody else, I say exactly what I mean.
that's whatever. So everyone, so we're gonna pull up the slide on the water budget first. And this may get a little tedious, it may get a little boring. We're gonna pull out the bits and pieces that, especially salaries, that are gonna interest the public and what the public should be seeing. So first of all, let's go to slide 1. We're gonna go to like the first slide they have, and it shows the revenue. Let me see, get the revenues up. And again, this is going to be a little bit boring, a little bit tedious, but again, we're going to try and break it down as best as we possibly can. And I'll definitely share. Don't worry, I'll definitely share with you. So first slide is revenue, and we have the water division revenue. So know how much the city takes in with water usage charges. So fiscal year 21, they took in $11,509,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then fiscal year 22, they only took in $10 million. I'm sorry, 10 million. They took in $400,000 less at $10,986,000. Even though, I mean, I believe that was a COVID. There was a lot of COVID expenses. That's why they raised the water. But
Right,
again,
because
they
that-
took in less water, and I remember they raised rates that year. And even though there was they took in less water revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they blamed that on COVID. Fair
Wow.
enough. So this year, they're only charging, and this is ridiculous. So you have fiscal year 21, they took in $11,500,009, and this year they're only taking in $11,252,000, but they're raising the water rates. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's personally ridiculous in my opinion. Boomer, am I tripping here or?
No, you're
All right,
staying. You're
okay.
staying. You're staying on it. So this is my first time seeing the water department's bills.
And they raised
increase.
and they also raised the meter fee. So they take in $1,279,000 in meter fees, and this year they're taking in $10,000 more at $1,289,000. So they're raising everything they possibly can. They're taking in less money in for water. I guess people are saving on their water, and they're raising the rates for that. That's for the income.
What slide are you looking at?
It's the first slide. It's a little it'll be under rev. I believe that's it. Yeah, that's the slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have that up there, everyone, and you can see it for yourselves. I know fiscal year 23 is a little bit cut off on the slide, but you have fiscal year 21, fiscal year 22, and then you have fiscal year 23. And as the fiscal year 23 is the one that's a little bit cut, like the top's cut off, but it's still there for the public to see. And then you have lumber revenue, and that went up a little bit. That's the revenues we're taking.
Of course, lumber's always going to be up now.
That's fair.
So,
other revenue, we took in $80,000 from something. It used to be $68,000, but now it's $80,000. Yeah, I know, I'm a little confused where that came from. And then, so the total amount of revenue they're taking in. So last year it was only $14,045,000. This year it's $14,289,000. So they're taking in more revenues,
okay,
and but they're doing that by raising
fees and all that.
raising fees, and they're taking in more money and their expenses. So total water administrative expenses. I guess that doesn't include salaries. So this is why. So fiscal year 21, it was only 94,000. I guess, and again, it's hard to compute this because of COVID.
Yeah.
I bet it was probably higher back before COVID.
Oh, I'm sure.
And now it's $147,000 in administrative expenses. Now let's go through these administrative expenses.
Yes.
So, so we have office equipment, furniture maintenance. Fiscal year 21, it was $0. Then 22, it was 500. And 23, it was 500. I bet that's a coffee maker. If I'm a betting man, I bet that's. I'm gonna ask for that.
That
in a
coffee
records
maker now.
request.
Yeah.
I really bet they used that money for a coffee maker. I wouldn't be shocked. And let's see what else has gone up. Medical and dental administrative. I mean, it used to be $0. Now it's $200. I don't know why they need I don't know why that would be an administrative cost. That would be under salaries. That should be under insurance. I don't know why they have their own slide for
Well,
medical and dental.
Isn't it? Oh, I mean, this is all new right now to me. So I thought if you work for the government, you get insurance.
Yes.
So that
And insurance isn't something I'm really privy on.
Okay.
Well, there are different insurances. You could sell out those that, put in there 30, 40 years to the city, and then all of a sudden now you want to up their cost, up their copay, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you have to match certain ones. Sometimes you get a great plan and everything's covered, but like your dental isn't covered, or you have certain copays, or you know what I mean? So
right.
So there's different plans for government officials, city officials, things like that.
All right. So this is under expenses. I think we're on the same page. So under expenses, now we have other it'd be I think it's the next slide. It show like office maintenance for
other rentals and leases.
I believe so.
Water administration expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
Other professional services. Yes, we're on the same page.
Yep.
All right. So here's a funny one, which is a little bit interesting to me. So other professional expenses, fiscal year 21, it was
1,200 to 41,000.
It went from 1,200 to 41,000.
Crazy,
Wow.
right?
I mean, again, it's really hard to see the fraud because I bet they go back to COVID or something to do with COVID.
But they're projecting 41,000 on the spot, no problem. Like
Postage.
they know.
Hey, postage went up too. It went up from 20. It went up 10,000 postage.
Yep.
I guess stamps cost a lot of money, eh?
What are they sending out?
Your
other
bill.
than your bill 47 times
Well,
with the wrong information on it.
Well, it's funny they ask and now.
Hey,
because-
taxpayers, you're even paying for your bill as a taxpayer. You're even paying to receive your bill.
I don't remember stamps going up that much. It's weird.
Other communications. Again, I know this is a small money, but it went up from $0 to $100. What's other? Again, this isn't very clear. If I bet these city councilors are going to ask the same questions, but it's not very clear for the people at home, for the public.
There's so much. I mean, how you go from other random purchase services from $47? Nope, $1,000. Let's just throw $1,000 in there. Like, it's not even like they're trying to hide the fact that you're just squandering money. Education supplies.
Yeah, what are you
$100 to $1,000.
What are you,
and they know in FY23 it's going to be another $1,000. Why isn't it going to go back to 100? I don't understand. What happened? You just $900 increase
more
for the year. What educational?
No,
services?
I think it's very funny.
Tell me.
They're also, when it's the public sees it for themselves, they can make their own conclusions. Maybe some of these are very. We need to find out where the actual expenditures are being used for this. That's what we need to find out, because this is like where they're using the money, but you have to find out what the actual quotes are, what is actually going for, the actual bills.
What professional services cost us $41,000, and they know they're going to cost us $41,000 next year
or more.
It's
they already put it in next year's budget.
That looks ridiculous to you too, right?
Like, what did you pay for? Did you have? And again, I know we hire outside people because apparently we pay the water department all these extra salaries to not do their job. So I get it. So
lazy.
Who did we hire? Did we hire a law firm? Did we hire experts to come in and tell us what to do because our experts are getting paid too much money to not be experts? I just want to know.
No, it's very ironic.
What $40,000 went to?
You know what I think is really, and we're gonna find out again. Where did for the public at home? Where did this $40,000 go to in other expenses? This is a scam.
Rentals and leases.
No, there shouldn't be other. I mean, don't know how generic that looks. Other expenses. That's ridiculous.
Of course it is. It's a way to not be specific and hide money.
Yes.
We saw this when we talked about the budget during campaigning. During campaigning, I talked about the budget and how the water department is going to be the new filtration system, and not for your water.
No.
Not for your water. Because at the end of the day, 10, 12, $13 million increases, but yet EMS is getting $3 million.
Wait until we go to the school department budget.
Public safety is getting $3 million. These guys are getting 12 to 24 million. Come on.
And so and again, for the public, we need to stress this fact that they're trying to hide away $40,000 and we don't know what for. Again, the public really needs to focus on this. And it was very funny. We pay for our own water, sewer, CSO charge. We pay for our own. Some people pay for their own stormwater charges. We're also paying for the city's stormwater charge as well. It's funny. It's funny. I didn't think that's funny. I mean, I guess it's. I mean, it's nothing really wrong with that. I guess, but
I mean, it's better than those people that are paying for everybody's stormwater usage
Hey,
that
it's
don't
20
even
it's
stormwater
$20,000.
doesn't even get drained anywhere into the city. It's weird.
The water department pays $20,000 for their CSO charge. I guess.
They pay themselves. What a concept.
Basically. So basically, water administration expenses, their administrative expenses went up from $94,000 to $147,000.
Where are you seeing that? Same one?
Total water administration expenses. It's like right above. You see it? It's
Oh, okay, it's kind of crushed in.
I know, crushed it a little bit, but it went up from $94,000 to $147,000. Again, that adds up to everyone. That adds up, everyone. That's almost 50. That's over $50,000. That's something we can be cutting. Now let's go back to $94,000. Let's go back to that. They don't need all these administrative expenses.
Of course not.
Again, that's $50,000. We can lower the cent per cubic foot. Again, we need to look at where we can cut money. So now this one's a doozy. I guess they're cutting in this. So water administration capital. I'm assuming this is their buildings.
Okay.
So it's going from their other whatever this is, other improvements. So I guess they're trying to improve their actual buildings. It went from $75,000 in fiscal year 21 to $200,000 in fiscal year 22. That's almost $150,000. And now it lowered. Now they're cutting it, I guess, to $150,000.
Oh, will be.
And now we have indirect costs. So we have transfer to their health. Oh, and this is where all the money. Oh, this is where the big bucks come in. And again, this is not something I'm very privy to. So their indirect costs are these are like $2 million. I mean, it did get cut a little bit, but again, you have transferred pensions. You know how much the pension? We're paying for people's pensions.
We have to.
We
do.
have to.
But
You know,
understand this: our city's pension fund is way underfunded. Let's just say it's not well maintained, and I highly suggest you go to those meetings, go to the meetings where they talk about all this.
Yeah.
And it's eye opening to see how the city serves.
Chip's involved in that. He's in.
But the people that they want to take care of, that have those jobs for I'm on this board for 20 years, for 19 years, and then all of a sudden I just got a cushy job for $190,000 in the city. Oh wait, that's my retirement for the next. That's my pension for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
So you did that job for 2 years, 3 years, and all of a sudden you get a pension based on a $190,000 job. When for 20 years you did $1,500 on some board. That's the problem. That needs to be revamped.
I'm just shocked by how much money actually.
Anybody that allows that should be in prison.
Oh yeah.
I'm really shocked how much money really goes into these pensions. That's like a lot. That's like a big chunk of the budget.
Not enough.
Wow.
Enough, believe it or not.
I believe you, Boomer. No, I'm just shocked.
I think it's funded at like 40% right now, believe it or not.
So
I'd have to get the exact numbers. Honestly, I would ask Chip. Chip is.
He's involved. Yeah.
And I trust his numbers over any of this because he's actually telling the truth. So, and when you look through it and learn that way, you can see it's like, oh wow, I didn't realize they were doing that, and they've always done it that way. So somebody up there knows what they're doing with the numbers and playing that shell game again. But the pensions are definitely not a concern. Let's put it that way. They are not concerned about the pensions. The only people that are concerned are the people living off them.
right. So now we're on the same page. Great. So salaries. So they're actually cutting. Let's look into this in depth. So from fiscal year 21, they're at $800,000 and $819,000 in salaries. Fiscal year 22, they went up to $981,000, and now this year they want only $972,000. I mean, again, but we in the long term, why do we have this high of a budget for all these salaries? The overtime went up from from 61,000 to 80. So we have a lot in overtime, $85,000 in overtime. Longevity, that
Where's the overtime? What are they doing?
What are they
Nothing's
doing?
being
If
done. The streets are atrocious. No new pipes are being put in. Nothing's being changed out. We had a collapse at the bottom of Mill Street. That's the last real event that I remember, right?
and they haven't done anything about that.
Yeah, they repaired it right then and there. But at the end of the day, what else are they doing? Where's all this overtime coming from?
shift premium, no shift premium. Holiday pay, they're bringing holiday pay up, and assuming this is this gone up a little bit just for Juneteenth. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
that was the
I think
problem.
that's probably why it went up. It's going up from 7,192 to 7,620. That's not that big.
Yeah.
But, no retirement buyouts. That's actually went down a little bit. Workers' compensation, it's went down from 82. I mean, it's going to be the same from fiscal year 22. It's going to be $60,000 in workers' comp.
What are other stipends?
Were you looking at? Are you looking at other personnel costs?
No.
Other stipends?
Other stipends, and then
Oh.
you got COVID-19 salaries. 146,000. Is that what that is?
That's from fiscal year 21.
Yeah.
What the hell was COVID-19 salary?
I was looking at that before. I don't know.
What the hell was that?
That's something that's been people were complaining, like, why is that in there? That's-
Other stipends, 37,000.
Yeah, I just looking at that too. It was going up to $42,000. What's the stipends for? Wait, I thought we don't give stipends. We don't give stipends. Didn't we just have this conversation at
Yeah.
the city council about stipends?
They're getting all this other pay. What are these stipends for?
What? I agree. What are these stipends for?
And then other personnel costs. Look at this. $1,000 actual in 21. But in 22, don't worry about it. We moved over almost $50,000.
Oh,
I got a comment.
We're gonna go back down to 24.
I just got a comment from a viewer. They said the water department should have first, second, and third shifts, so there's no overtime.
Agreed. I agree with that.
I agree with that as
Why are
well.
we paying double pay, triple pay, holiday pay? Why are we paying this? This is crazy.
Premium. Yeah, that's weird.
City
I mean,
Hall closes at 4 o'clock.
and then we have the other personnel costs. It went up from $1,000 to almost. It went up. Then it went up.
9,000.
Then
Exactly.
No, that's last year. This
Yeah.
year it's only 24,000. But what's this? What is this? Oh, it's too generic for me. I don't like. City councilors better ask the question on what these little things are. We're not.
I
paying
doubt
for
they will.
Coffee, but
What are we doing?
all right.
Insane to me.
Wait. Next we have the water maintenance and distribution expenses. This should be good.
Oh yeah.
So we have electricity. This is how much taxpayer money. This is taxpayer money being spent. Everyone.
It's cheaper than our own electric bills.
So they want $10,000 for electricity.
I get that.
They want $20,000 for heating fuel. $4,000. It went up from $49 in fiscal year 21, 22, 23. It's $4,000
Yes, COVID, nobody did
Yeah.
anything during
in
COVID.
building and grounds maintenance. All right.
So nobody worked during COVID. Got it. But they paid them
Vehicles. They pay the $25,000 for vehicles. $4,000 for office equipment. Okay, I guess. Honestly. Other repairs and maintenance 2,000. Water pipe replace, repair 10,000. But that's things that ARPA money can be used for that we can take it out of this budget.
Yeah.
And then help the taxpayer in the long term. That's things ARPA money can be used for. And I understand the mayor
Doesn't
that's
want that.
Like but the mayor is already repairing water pipes. So why is this being funded in our normal budget? Unless that's including ARPA funds, but
Why don't we don't have our own equipment?
We should.
I mean, I'm sure we paid for it somewhere.
so street. I mean, maybe they got an upgraded. I agree with you. Why do we have that? Communication lines. I guess $100 for whatever. Other property related service 1,500. Workers' comp medical bills went from 63 to 30,000. These budgets, the fiscal year 22 and fiscal year 23 are very similar in many ways, but yet we still raise the rates on people. I don't really get it.
Other purchase services. So another hidden secret from 1,000 to 15,000 to 15,000.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Tubing,
Gasoline from 39 to 50. I can understand that.
lumber. I can see lumber going up, but I went up from like $89 to $500.
Paper is doubled. Apparently trees
Sit.
more too.
Other supplies from 6 to
So
5,000.
R&M construction equipment is here at 15,000.
Oh wait, what's the stop box?
Construction equipment rental at 3,500.
Wait, what are stop boxes? What are stop boxes?
What's that?
Stop box.
I believe that's to like the water shutoffs. I think might have something to do with that, so they can work.
Sheesh, it's expensive.
Yeah. Listen, it's not a cheap job.
No.
Dealing with water pipe and all that, like it's not cheap. It's expensive.
I bet.
It is expensive. But when I'm looking at none of these costs, I have anything to do with it. None of them.
All right, so
The gas, the piping, the equipment, sure, got it. Got it. It's expensive. I completely agree.
So water treatment. Now we're gonna go next to water treatment plant. And if any members of the public have any questions they want us to answer, I'll definitely reach out and see what I can find out. So we have a water treatment plant salaries. I guess that's separate from the actual water department. I guess like it's all under the water department, but I guess it's two separate. So salaries and wages. So salary, and this is very important. So salaries and wages went up from 877,000 to 930,000.
Wow.
No, this was a short slide. That one. It's the first one. I mean, how does that go up? That it went up from in fiscal year 21. It was $800,000. Now this is something we need to look at. That could be. I mean, we shouldn't fund opera. We shouldn't fund the salaries with opera funds because those
No.
are but again, this is something we need to really look at as a community. The salaries. Like, what are these positions really useful? According to them, they fight every year for these positions with the city council. They say it's very important. They don't want and they give us the stories about how the sewer lines are going to break and the city's going to flood.
And apparently they're understaffed, and then there's always a fear factor involved. Yeah, they're always going to threaten you with your water.
So from fiscal year 21,
they would probably get in trouble for not supplying you with clean.
for fiscal year 21 to fiscal year 23, we have gone up $130,000 in salaries. I mean, that's a whole position almost. I mean, that's like a big, like administrative.
That's a whole position.
Administrative position. Again, we need.
However, how many people did they have? We have to see.
And again, we have the
Did
stuff.
everybody get a raise? Okay. Everybody.
Oh my God! You should look at the overtime. You should look at the overtime though. We have 100,000 in fiscal year 21. It was over $100,000. Now we have.
Explain to me all the overtime during 21 when it was supposed to be during COVID.
Everything should have been shut down.
Where did $161,000 in overtime come from? What did they do?
That's a scam. This is like, look at us.
I feel like it is because
Now
you
it
know
went back down to 99 to 99.
Everyone at home, please share this show and share this information because this really looks like a scam. That we have $168,000 on an off year, basically, of water needs. That looks like a scam. That's an overtime scam right there. Who got that money? That's a shame. This is ridiculous, honestly.
It's got to be the only people that got that kind of money are the heads working in City Hall.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
We have more stipends. Boomer, we have more stipends. It's going up. And it's going from fiscal year 21 is 8,000, then it went up to 14,000. Now they
Wow.
want $20,000 in stipends.
that is ridiculous.
Other stipend.
Just other money.
And then when the public sees where we can,
What it is, we're just going to tell you that we're taking it because we can.
and when the public sees where we should cut, that we can save the taxpayer money in the long run. This is where
The word
this
other,
stuff.
The word other needs to come out.
Yes.
It needs to be specific spending in every line item. Period.
No,
If
it needs to
says
be done.
other, City council needs to deny it. Period.
There needs to
They
be an
will never
ordinance.
deny
There
it.
needs to be an
They will
ordinance.
never.
Period.
That budgets cannot include the word other. I don't care. I don't care for anything. Nothing. If it's other, you don't need
needs
it.
to be a specific line item and explain. Done.
All right. So water treatment plant.
Other personnel costs.
Now we're gonna go next to water treatment plant.
Do you see the other personnel costs?
Let me see.
What?
It went down. Yeah. Again, it's ridiculous. It
What is
goes
other
up.
personnel? What is other personnel? Who? And how did it go from 4,000 to 45,000 or 44,000?
Oh yeah, you're right, Boomer. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have skipped that right away. It went from $4,000 to $44,000,
We already have the other expenses for outside
and now it's going back to.
people. What is this? It's just another line item just added for the same thing.
Other this, other that. This is just money going
I
out
know
for
it's
free.
happening, but something doesn't smell right.
No, it does not. Again, that does not look right. What do you think, Jeff? Does that look right to you?
This is all new to me with the budget right now, and I feel like it's not necessary, and I feel like there is a scam. At least what
With
you're
some of
what
these-
you're
with some of
seeing.
these, and it has to be like looking at all this. There had to have been some wrongdoing somewhere. This does not look right at all. And then look at water treatment plant expenses. What's intergovernmental? And why is that $72,000? What could that possibly be intergovernmental?
And then you look again, it'll tell you down here again, other professional services.
Chemical. Oh wow,
2,000.
we pay a lot of money for chemicals. Chemicals is a lot.
Chemical
Of money.
for
we do.
cleaning and stuff.
I am
$500,000.
Yep,
What?
we do.
That went up a
Chemicals are
lot.
not cheap. I
Yeah.
will speak out of experience. Chemicals are not cheap to clean water and keep everything clean and take care of like the rotten facility. There's a lot that goes through.
Electricity as well. Electricity went up from $593,000 to $700,000.
Makes sense. I mean, all of our costs have gone up in that area, so that makes sense right now. Certain things I can understand. I can agree with. I can justify that.
Computer equipment maintenance went from $8,000 to $13,000.
Yep.
I wish we had this show last year because we could really break some stuff down. I really do wish we had this show
we'll do
last year.
suicide on, Friday. Educational supplies again, $6,000. Huh. Concrete and cement here is only $100. On
What?
the other page, it was what, 50,000? Correct?
Wow,
Interesting.
that is interesting.
But
They didn't need that many supplies.
No,
The supply. I know what the supplies is. McDonald's. A nice little coffee pot.
I don't know. It's definitely
So and Boomer, I'm really not privy to this. You could maybe help me explain this one a little bit. We have debt service. So I'm assuming this is the debt from capital projects.
fine.
I mean, it looks like
The
and that's a
interest-
lot of money
the
as well.
interest is over $1 million.
I mean, if we
Had
stop
just,
not having
did
more
it instead
projects,
of paying,
yeah.
inflated salaries and all these other costs, we wouldn't have that interest. We'd save $1 million, $2 million. What a crazy concept, right?
Interesting.
I'm all about paying people for their time, paying people for their work, paying people for their skills. I'm all for it. But you got to justify all these other costs.
So in total, we have the total budget. So for the water, and then we will go into the sewer momentarily. This is we do apologize for going over, but I'm happy we did cover these subjects. Very important for the community. So we have revenue and expenses. So expenses went up from 12,000 to 14,000. It's actually really funny. So revenue for fiscal year 21 was at 14,000. And then expenses that year were at 12. I mean, I should say I meant million. 12 million.
Let's say you're a little off.
yeah,
And then the budget for fiscal year 22 is 14 million. And again, we need to find a way to cut back on these expenses. And they do great. We're not trying to bash the water department. We're really not. I'm sure they do great work.
well, I remember in the council
I think
chambers.
They take way too much advantage of the fact that people's ignorance, people don't understand it. They can use the fear factor right away. They use it. You're not going to tell me you're charging all of this and you're still going to add nonsense theft, rainwater tax to people. You're going to add all kinds of crazy
Yeah.
stuff people can't control.
Hey, once
Absolutely not.
I just want to talk about the sewer department.
Absolutely not.
I just want to really talk about the sewer department when we get. I think this one looks worse.
Yeah,
When we
we'll
look
do
at this.
that one on Friday.
Wanna do that?
We don't want
Okay.
heads exploding. All in one day. And I gotta pick up my dog.
All right, no, I have places to go as well. All right, we're gonna wrap that up, everyone. Jeff,
Yeah.
do you want to come on Friday?
Yeah, I can see my schedule. I'll let you know.
All right,
by then.
sounds good. This was a great conversation we're having, and just everyone wait for the sewer department budget. It looks scary. I'm just from looking at it. It was just say salaries are literally doubling.
It's going up.
This is we need to find out why they're the bottom line, everyone. We need to put some plugs on how much money we spend in the city and find a way to cut out of the budget so we can help the taxpayers in the long term. This has been a great informative show, one of the best shows we've had. Thank you, Jeff,
Thank
for coming
you.
on. You're definitely going to come on in the future. This was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Thank you, Boomer. We had a great,
Thank
great,
you.
constructive conversation, and we heard you for a little bit, but
Yeah. No.
and we will see everyone Friday. I hope everyone has a great day, great rest of your week. It's warm out there. Stay safe.
Stay
and be
angry.
well. Stay angry. Have
Bye.
a great day, everyone. Goodbye.